And you're listening to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm Mark Sherry here this week with Violet Hausthor. And you just heard Krystal Swords doing Disintegrator. Before that, Pearl Sugar doing Sift. And we started out with Simon Hutchinson with Everybody Concentrate. So that song we just heard, the Krystal Swords Disintegrator, boy, Krystal Swords out of Northampton, Mass. I love the feeling of that song. It's just kind of grabbed me.
Yeah, she's really talented. Absolutely. Krystal Swords is a guitarist, singer, general multi-instrumentalist, producer. She just does a lot of really cool stuff. And she also happens to make some of the coolest EDM I've heard out of the area. It's just so interesting. I just randomly stumbled across her one day before even hearing these tracks. And when I delved into this album, Alpha, which came out in 2022, I was completely blown away. Like, this is clearly borrowing from sort of a 80s inspired synthwave feel with drum and bass influences on a track like this, but she also clearly borrows from metal. And you get to hear some of that across the album, those sorts of metal influences, those sorts of progressive influences. The whole album, though, Alpha, is just completely excellent. I got a lot out of just listening through the whole thing and hearing the overarching themes of the record come together mainly through composition alone, more than even lyricism. It's just like you hear it and then you feel it emotionally.
Mm.
Really, she's absolutely talented. I'm going to be re-listening to this album a lot.
Hmm. I hear what you're saying. I feel that when I listen to that song. Yeah. Before
Mhm.
that, we had Pearl Sugar doing Sift out of South Hadley, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Pearl Sugar's pretty cool. It's a synth pop project of Chris Bugnacki, and they're just incredible. They dabble in a wide range of different styles, borrowing from like Elliott Smith, Sonic Youth, Throbbing Gristle, MIA. They do a little bit of everything and bring it all together into a really interesting experimental whole. And this is off the album Bird Brain Gets the Drill, which just came out in November. And honestly, it's a really interesting record. A lot to think about with the production style, the lyrics, the vibe, the composition. It just hits in the right place, you know? I think they really pulled off something very, very interesting here.
Hmm. Yeah.
Makes me think. And then, of course, starting out that block, Simon Hutchinson with Everybody Concentrate. Simon's out of New Haven, Connecticut. And, you know, this particular single may be sort of chiptune, French house inspired, fairly straightforward in its own style, but Simon actually borrows from a very wide range of styles, including ambient, data moshing, like European classical concert traditions, weird experimental, like genre bending, electronic bending. He says that the result is a body of work that explores the variety of interplay between humanity, technology, and society.
Yeah. And I see that he's also got a PhD in music composition. He's a
Mhm.
educator as well.
Yeah, and
And
he's got a really cool YouTube channel with over 7.5 thousand subscribers where he talks about his latest experiments in music, gear, and technology. Like this particular track may be fun, it's cheerful, it's a good time, but he's also a very talented experimental composer. So you can delve very deep with the sort of stuff that he does, and it's really cool to hear.
so, Violet, what are we going to be ending the show with?
We're going straight into prog metal with artists like Captain Jade and the Skyfarers and Mile Marker Zero. Let's start things off with Captain Jade. Here's She Will Lead Me Home.